A scientist raised a young chimpanzee whose IQ was as high as 180. One day, he took him out for a walk in the forest. Along the way, they encountered a dog. The moment the dog saw Caesar, it immediately showed signs of aggression. The dog's owner tried to calm it down. At that moment, Caesar slowly turned his head and stared at the dog with a cold and frightening gaze. In just a split second, the dog became afraid and hid behind its owner. Caesar was only 5 years old, but his understanding was no less than that of a human. His father, Jack, was suffering from Alzheimer's disease. One day, Jack's father forgot to lock the house door and drove out alone. By accident, he crashed into a neighbor's car. The neighbor became furious and immediately rushed over. He dragged Jack's father out of the car and shouted at him harshly. Caesar saw everything from upstairs. He could not tolerate his grandfather being treated that way. His anger erupted instantly. He ran out of the room and charged directly at the neighbor, pushing him to the ground. In his rage, he even bit the man's finger. The people around stood stunned at what they witnessed. Soon, Caesar realized that he had made a serious mistake. He lowered his head and hid in his grandfather's arms. But by then, the police had arrived. They captured Caesar and took him away. Jack also arrived at the scene. Seeing Caesar being taken away was extremely painful for him. Jack did not want this to happen, but there was nothing he could do. When night fell, Caesar was locked inside a cage filled with other monkeys. It was the first time in his life that he truly felt fear. The caretaker began distributing leftover food to the monkeys. In anger, Caesar picked up the food and threw it onto the ground. The other monkeys nearby laughed when they saw this. The caretaker grew even angrier. He grabbed a water hose and began beating Caesar. Throughout the night, Caesar could not sleep. He drew the window he loved onto the wall and pressed his face against the drawing as if he could feel warmth from it. The next day, the door was opened and all the monkeys were taken outside. Caesar was the last one to be taken out of the cage. When the strongest monkey there saw Caesar's clothes, it became jealous and tore his clothes apart. Caesar did not fight back. He stepped backward, but the bully monkey did not stop. It kept chasing Caesar until he slipped and fell. Just as it was about to attack him, tranquilizer darts were fired and hit both of them. When Caesar regained consciousness, he found himself in a stronger cage than before. There, he met an orangutan. He saw the caretaker make another monkey unconscious and take it into a laboratory. The next day, Jack came to visit Caesar. Caesar thought that he would finally be going home, but when he saw Jack leaving again, his heart shattered. Caesar returned to his cage and erased the drawing on the wall in anger. At that very moment, he decided that he must change his fate. When playtime arrived, Caesar climbed to the highest point. As he looked at the nearby iron bars of the cage, a plan slowly began to form in his mind. For more videos like this, subscribe to our channel